During the course of me doing these stories or whatever I do with my channel or channels, of course, y'all know I talk about children. I'm one of the ones to have a voice for children because I care for children regardless of what color or not. And one of the questions that I have been asked from time to time when dealing with children and adults, you know, what can a child do to a grown person? Well, like I always tell y'all, if the child got the mindset to do something, they could do it just as well as a teenager or an adult or whoever. And you'll see why I'm talking about this in a minute. But for right now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chris Thorne Show. What's going on, everybody? I'm your man, Chris Thorns. As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching my content. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. I got a story for you. This is not an update. I know I said I'm just going to be doing updates for right now, but this is a story that I feel like in my heart that I need to put out there because of what I said earlier. And to kill some time, let me get right into the story, let y'all know what's going on here. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, take a look behind me. The young man that you see right there, name is Adan, Adan Llanos, if I said that right. Llanos. Let me bring up a couple more pictures. There you go, right there. And let me bring up one more. Oops. And there go the young man with his mother. All right. Guys, I want to tell you what happened to this young man. This young man was a sixth grader. And y'all know with the school things now, they are doing a lot of stuff on computers, mainly Zoom, for what I'm understanding. Where young Adan here, sixth grader, in the middle of during class, has shot and killed himself. To repeat that, this young sixth grader has shot and killed himself. And from what I'm understanding, from what I read, it wasn't an accident. But I also read something, if I can find it, that his folks are saying he wasn't suicidal. So what is really going on here? What is really going on here to make a sixth grader turn a gun on himself and pull the trigger? So let me see if I get into the story and maybe y'all can help me out as you listen. Because and I ran into this by accident. Well, no, actually, I got an email, not from somebody, but I got an email from the police tribune. I think that's what it's called. And this was one of the stories that I saw. And I said, no, this can't be right. No, sixth grader? No, no. But apparently, it is real. And ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to have a listen with me on this story.
Just so devastating, classmates throughout the day have been dropping off candles and stuffed animals. Now, the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office says this is an investigation of suicide. Now, while we don't know what led up to this tragedy, experts say the pandemic is impacting children's mental health, and they offer advice to keep them safe. He was a son, a brother, a student, and to many, a friend. A community is reeling after deputies say an 11-year-old boy shot himself with a gun registered to an adult in his home while on Zoom during a Woodbridge Elementary distance learning class. Officials say the sixth grader did not have his computer camera on and was muted, but his sister was in the next room in her virtual classroom. He later died at the hospital.
I think this really highlights for us the invaluable role that schools play in our children's lives and development.
Child psychologist Tara Needham says her clinic at UC Davis has seen an increase in the number of kids saying they've had suicidal thoughts. She says children absorb the stress adults are feeling during the pandemic, and distance learning can be isolating for children who thrive on structure and social interactions.
All they need is one meaningful adult to talk to. And that used to maybe be a teacher or a coach, and they don't have that person now. So can you help find that one person who can be there for them?
And with the public health risk of fully opening schools, she says it's more important than ever for adults to emotionally check in on children every day. Keep an eye on changes in sleep, appetite, mood, and attention span. Students may show signs of avoiding school, make negative statements about themselves, or even try to harm themselves.
I think it's easy to dismiss those things, but those are early signs that your kid is really struggling.
Needham's advice: do your best to listen without getting frustrated and provide structure and schedules. And of course, that is easier said than done. And Needham says, don't be afraid to reach out if you need help. She says counties and schools offer mental health support if you need it.
First of all, I want to say this right here. I agree with mostly everything what they said or with the teacher. I guess that was the teacher who they had on camera. That a lot of children, they have just their one positive person in their life that they can speak to. Then they will open up and maybe some things will get accomplished. I highly agree with that because I was like that when I was growing up. I feel like I couldn't talk to my mom. I can talk to my dad some, you know. But when it comes to other people that I didn't know, they showed me that they at least wanted to listen or cared. I did open up to them, and I'm pretty much sure you got a lot of people who was like that. For some reason we just couldn't talk to them. Well, I know my reason why I couldn't talk to my people the way I want to talk to them. But everybody's not in the same boat. But still with that, I agree with that. They find just one person who they can open up to and talk. I think a lot of things can get resolved. And then another thing that she said, can you just open up without getting frustrated? And that's another thing that's a problem in society today. I'm not going to call out no race. I'm talking about everybody. That's one of the problems in society that we got today. These adults get so frustrated with the children when they trying to talk to them that it's insane. It's really insane to get so frustrated. But here's the thing a lot of people have to remind me of. We was children once. We were children once. So imagine stuff that we done to frustrate our folks. Just imagine little shit that we done to frustrate our folks and how they felt sometimes. But again, I had to keep saying this. I'm an 80s baby. So when I frustrated people or whatnot, it didn't come down to them killing us or we had suicidal thoughts and this, that, and the third. It wasn't like that in the 80s and the 90s. Not to my regulations. If it wasn't as bad as it is now. You understand? It wasn't bad as it was now. So I don't know what was going on. Could this man not open up to his mom? Could he not open up to his dad? I had no idea what was going on. But the sad thing about this is him and his sister, if I heard that right, was actually in the same class, but they was in different rooms. The young man cut his camera off and his microphone off and shot himself. The sister heard the loud bang. Now, I'd have done a lot of stories when I heard teenagers committing suicide. But I never done a story, not that I can recall, that somebody young as a sixth grader. If you were sixth grade, you somewhere between about 11 or 12. Or maybe 13. Well, I guess teen, there'd be a teen too. But I guess we don't consider this 13 teen. A lot of us, a lot of times we don't consider 13 as teen. We still consider it as young. However you want to put it. But if you in the sixth grade, you swear at least about 11 or 12, or probably even 10, 11, 12, let me just say between 10 and 13, if you're in the sixth grade. Or probably older than that. Hey, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've been in school. I don't know. So how would a young man or a young woman at age or not saying how. What can happen so bad that somebody that young will have suicidal thoughts or killing themselves? And this is what hurt me the most. This was a young man, still in elementary school. But maybe I can find some clues in some of these articles I'm going to read to y'all. So, as always, let me get right into it. And of course, let me blow it up so y'all can read with me, if y'all can. So this story was published on the 2nd, and it was updated on the 3rd, which was 2 days ago. So this story is fresh. And it says the boy's family said Thursday that the shooting was an accident. A San Joaquin, if I'm saying it right, San Joaquin County Sheriff. Somebody tell me if I'm saying it right or not. San Joaquin County Sheriff Office spokesperson told ABC 10 Thursday that the preliminary findings indicate the shooting was intentional. See, that's what I'm talking about. His family saying it's an accident, which could well have been an accident, and you got the sheriff said this look intentional. But let's read on. At Woodbridge Elementary School, student died Wednesday after shooting himself while on distance learning Zoom call. The San Joaquin County Sheriff Office said Woodbridge Elementary School is a part of Lodi Unified Unified School District, which started the 2021 school year August 3rd, 2020, with all students in distant learning classrooms. Around 11 a.m. Wednesday, December the 2nd, deputies responded to a home along the 300 block of Sterling Street in Woodbridge and found the boy with a head injury. Sandra Mendez, public school information officer for the sheriff's office, said the boy was a student in the 6th grade. Wow. He was on a distant learner Zoom, but had his audio and video turned off, according to Mendez. The victim's sister was in another room, also in the Zoom classroom, but with her audio and video on when she heard a gunshot. The sister went into the other room to find her brother had shot himself. The sister alerted her classroom to what happened. And can I get this out the way? Will you let me get this out the way? Okay, well, don't worry about it. She alerted her classroom to what had happened and then rushed to a neighbor who called 911. The boy was rushed to a hospital. However, on Wednesday afternoon, the sheriff's office announced on Facebook the boy had died. Mendez said the gun was registered to an adult in the home. The school reaction: Paul Warren, Lodi Unified School District Student Support Director, said this district has seen an increasing number of anxious and depressed students. As the students' routines have been interrupted and they aren't able to socialize amid the pandemic. Tara Niendam, 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 I don't know how to say that. A child psychologist for UC Davis said they've also seen an increase in suicidal ideations in children. And the kids are feeling the same stress adults are feeling during the pandemic. She said distance learning could be isolating for children who thrive on structure and social interactions. All they need is one meaningful adult to talk to, she said. There needs to maybe be a teacher or a coach, and children don't have that person now. She is correct. I agree. She also goes on to say that with public health risk of fully opening schools due to the pandemic, it's more important than ever for adults to emotionally check in on children every day. Yes. Monitor your child's changes in sleep, appetite, mood, and attention span. Can't disagree with that. Students may show signs of avoiding school. Well, we already know that 9 times 10 when they avoid school. Yes, it's trouble at school. 9 times 10 it's a bully. you know, or maybe a teacher being a bully to the students. So you just never know. It could be anything. Making negative statements about themselves or trying to harm themselves. It's easy to dismiss those things, but those are early signs that your kid is really struggling, she said. Guys, if you got children, please pay attention to these signs. If you are seeing them, please do. If you are someone you know is experiencing signs of depression or adverse mental health, check out these online health resources. You can also call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline anytime, 24/7 at 1-800-273-TALK. Again, that is 1-800-273-TALK, 8225, or your local county mental health crisis phone line. Additional resources are available on the National Suicide Prevention website. This is learning mental health background. Though it is the best way to keep families safe during the pandemic, virtual learning has a known effect on students' mental health. For kids who are already prone to depression or anxiety, or who are already have difficulties in their social relationships, child and adolescent psychiatrist and medical director of Uplift Family Service, Dr. Mark Edelston, said in September interview with ABC 10 that distance learning is a concern, especially as academics start to become another hurdle in their child's life. And while the academic side is a huge point of stress, Dr. Edelston said that it's just the starting point of a larger problem that distance learning poses for young children. What you're learning in school is not necessarily the content that the teacher is presenting, right? Dr. Edelston said, but you learn about your role as a student and as a citizen, as a friend. You may have a mentor at school. You certainly get a lot of support if you got good friends there. You know, and I'm going to stop right there. Now, what I do want to do at this time, I want to bring up let's see if I can find it. Hold on, guys. Give me just a minute. Let me check this out real quick before I play it. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I was checking this out to see was this gonna have an ad running or whatnot. You know, that is Paul Warren, and it's a 13-second video. And he's talking about. Well, I'll let y'all hear
it. To go through things, and we have temporary emotional experiences, and that with the support of family and other trained people, we can get through those things.
All right. So you heard what he had to say, and
you know what feet can do?
Oh Jesus Christ! All right, so I want y'all to see this right here. It said freak accident, family of Adan, 11. Oh, he was 11. I had it right. 6th grade, somewhere between 10 and 13 years old. I got it. I had it right. Who shot himself dead in Zoom class, says he was not suicidal. So now here's my thing on that. If he was not suicidal, then what was going on? What's really going on? Because something caused this young man to get that gun and do that. Unless he was just a curious child and things went left. All right. But it says as follows. Hold on. Let me blow this up. It says relative of Adan, who was from Woodridge, California, said he accidentally took his own life during a remote learning lesson on Wednesday morning. They go to the young man with his mom. According to the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office, the young boy who was a student at Woodridge Elementary School had his audio and video turned off, and when the gun was fired, the boy's uncle, Adan Llanos, took to Facebook on Thursday to remember Adam as the most respectful and sweetest boy. Along with sharing a GoFundMe account, Lewis wrote, "We ask of you all to please refrain from any speculation, and if you see any comments, politely ask them to only say positive things. He was not suicidal. He was not suicidal," they say. "This young man was an angel that we had the privilege of knowing." Louise's wife, Stephanie, also posted on social media to put a stop to any talk about her nephew taking his own life. All right. She goes on to say, "If we are asking, if anyone sees in a post or comments insinuating that this incident was suicide or that our nephew was depressed, please help us shut it down," she wrote. "This was a freak accident and our nephew was a happy kid. Right now, seeing those comments, what is the most hurtful to the family, and I can use all the help I can with this." Moments after the gun went off in Ada's room, his sister, who had been taking virtual class in another room in the house, walked over and found her fatally injured brother. She then told the teacher before finding a neighbor who called 911. This was a freak accident. Okay, it goes on to saying other stuff that just pretty much telling the story. So again, we get the gist of what's going on here. And that's the gist of the story. So what? Let's see if I get into final thoughts to this. Well, I guess there's no final thoughts for me to give. I agree with everything that the teacher, whoever they said. I mean, you got children who's showing sign of distress. Please get help. Please get help. Now, to his folks who are getting upset because people is insinuating this was a suicide. Here's what I say to y'all. People like me or other people who are seeing this story, we only going by what the news and what the media is telling us. Not necessarily saying that it's always true. It's not always true. But here's the thing. Yes, a lot of us can be happy on the outside. But if we're not expressing what's going on with us on the inside, how would you know? How would you know? Maybe Adan was smiling in everybody's face and was having a good time with everybody. But maybe deep down inside, the young man probably was feeling some things. Who knows? I'm just saying. I don't know. I wasn't there. And from the sounds of it, nobody was there either with them two. So I guess that's a question got to be asked too. Who was there with them, or was anybody there with them at all? And then you got to think about this too. How did the young man get a hold of that gun? And how did he know where it was? All right. So, there's a lot of questions to this story that a lot of people probably want answers to. All right. So again, I can speculate whatever the case may be. And I get it. It's hurtful to see this stuff. And it's hurtful that some things that people say. But y'all can't get upset for people having their own thoughts of what might have happened. The story is out there. Even Crime Online, Nancy Grace, she has this story. All right? So maybe on their part, everybody probably need to take a chill pill. Now, if people just out just talking outright nasty about the child, then I get that. But to report the stories and give out speculation on it, y'all can't stop that. Y'all really can't stop that. But my heart goes out to y'all. My heart goes out to the young man. I hate that this happened to him. And I hope y'all get down to the bottom of what really happened. I really do. I hope y'all get down to the bottom of what really happened to this young man. Because, young children at that age, should be committing suicide or even having thoughts of suicide. But then again, we're in a different era. So things have changed a whole lot. A whole lot. Anyway, my name is Chris Thorns. Any of your family members, y'all see this video, hey, I would love to talk to y'all. Y'all come talk to me about the young man and tell me what y'all think it happened. My doors are open to talk to anybody who is family or friends of this young man and shine some more light on what went on with the guy. You know, I have no problem with doing that because, again, I don't mind staying corrected on stories like these. But for now, I'm just putting out what they putting out, and I'm putting out what y'all have said, all right? So, man, this just sad, man. But anyway, this your man, Chris Thorns. As always, y'all tell me what y'all think about this, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.